Hey, look at this guy. Chromitus Citadel. 4 red and green for a legendary Kithkin mercenary Gurg. I'll tell you this is no Kithkin I've ever seen. Kithkin are meant to be like hobbits. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where I react to these crazy AI generated cards. I think the first video did quite well, so let's do some more. This time I'd like to add a new element that I've just basically stolen from PewDiePie. So if you laugh, you lose. It's pretty simple. See how long you can last without laughing, and tell me below at what point you break, and it might just improve the comedy level. So let's get into the video. Poison the Walker, which is a Planeswalker in itself. So it's 1 and green for a Planeswalker card, but it doesn't have any loyalty or any abilities apart from Will of the Council. Starting with you, each player votes for Death Goblin. Well, it doesn't really sound like a choice if I have to vote Death Goblin. But man, it's a very forceful card. I don't actually know what a Death Goblin does, and I don't even know what voting for Death Goblin does, but I mean, for funny value, I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5. It's just very obscure. Poison the Walker, 3 mana, Planeswalker, it just, I don't know what's going on there. Very difficult to judge that one. Banefire Master, okay. Okay. 5 mana, 3/1, fish in mono red. Okay, let's see what it does. Tap. Red and tap. Banefire Master loses this ability and becomes an aura enchantment with enchant creature. Attach it to target creature. You may pay 1 and red to end this effect. Very strange. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 first strike. So this is basically bestowing, but you're bestowing from the battlefield. So it doesn't. It loses this ability and becomes an aura enchantment. This works. I think this works. I think for design space, this is kind of cool. We've not seen something. I guess it's like reconfigured, but for enchantments. Yeah, I think this is decent and limited. But nowhere else. I'll give it 3.5 stars out of 5, just because it's quite creative, but it's just a bit slow. Subterranean Express. We've got ourselves another Planeswalker, this time costing 3 and green for a legendary Planeswalker avatar, so they don't have a name. Fair enough. And the abilities: +1, untap up to 1 target creature and target permanent you control. That's very good. This is so super strong. -2, draw 3 cards and discard a card. Okay, a bit strange in green that you have to discard, but I'm digging it. You can do that as soon as it comes in. Fantastic. And then -6, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, target creature gets -2/-2. Wow, that's a very black ability. This is incredible. This is very powerful. Yeah, I would use this. It's definitely in the wrong colours. This should be blue, black, or Esper, I think, at least Demir. But yeah, this is pretty cool design. I think it's almost a win. It just needs to change the colours, but I'd give this one 5 out of 5, I think. Okay, Lava Driller, 6 red for a 6/4. It's got Suspend 2 for 1 red. Okay, that's an expensive cost, but so when you cast a spell, you may pay 4. If you do, create 2 3/3 red dragon creatures with first strike. This is surprisingly normal. So you suspend it for 5. 2 turns later, when it casts, you can pay 4 to create even more. This is actually pretty strong. I think this is good. This is interesting design space. Give it 4 out of 5. This one. Okay, we've got a very crazy card here. It's the new Ugin. Ugin, Spirit of Eupos. A lot of strange things going on here. So it's red, green, and it's Korobropolis, which sounds like Chinglish for colourless. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack a creature. Okay, this is already seeming quite interesting. It can't be blocked by creatures. So what can it be blocked by? Why doesn't it just say unblockable? That's strange. And whenever you discard a card, it gets +1/+0 of turn. I can see this working. Again, I think it's just in the wrong colours. If this was in Jund or some kind of black, maybe black red or black green, it could work. As for the flavour, I don't know what Ugin's been doing, but that does not look right to me. That does not look like the Ugin that I'm used to seeing. That's so strange. Okay, so now we have Flickering Vampire, which is mono blue, which is a bit strange. 4 in blue for a 4/4. And of course, a Flickering Vampire wouldn't be a vampire unless it was a legendary spirit. And whenever it attacks, destroy all lands you control. That's pretty awful. And Coven, 2 and white, create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying and vigilance. This is one of the worst cards I've ever seen. You'll never be able to attack. So this might as well just say Defender. But if you're looking for a vampire in your vampire tribal deck, I just wouldn't recommend this one unless you're a maniac. And also it's blue, which means it doesn't go in Edgar Markov or any white-black. No Mardu deck can have this. The Coven ability is interesting, but it's just so slow. It's awful. It doesn't even have flying itself or flicker. It's not a flickering and it's not a vampire. Man, this is going to get 1 out of 5, and it's a legend. Shameful. Shamefully bad. Okay. Thrashing Ritz. Thrashing Ritz with 2 R's. Is it more like a Thrashing Ritz? 4 mana 0/0. Okay. Human, soldier, pirate. Okay. Doesn't look very human, they're a bit skeletal. And the ability. When Thrashing Ritz enters, add red, green, white. Okay, this is a really weird card. So it comes in, instantly dies, gives you Naya colours, which is weird because this is like a black aristocrats kind of ability you want, and it just dies. I mean, I guess it fixes your mana for 4 mana. I'll give it 2 stars out of 5. It fixes your mana if you're desperate. I mean, I've seen cards fix mana for approximately the same costs. It's a funny way to do it, and you might trigger a death ability. So yeah, we'll give it 2.5. Okay, this is the most broken equipment I've ever seen. So this is, okay, give me a second. Sock Sculpt Rendex. Sock Sculpt Rendex. 2 green for a legendary artifact equipment, and it doesn't even have an equip cost, so it just comes in and it just does its thing. Lands you control have tap, add green, blue. Broken. This is broken. This is 5 stars out of 5. What the heck? There's literally no downside. 4 mana and all your lands tap for that. So if you have 1 mana open after this, you've just got 2 mana back. This is the strongest Soul Ring they've ever created. 5 out of 5. Hey, look at this guy. Chromitus Citadel. 4 red and green for a legendary Kithkin mercenary Gurg. I'll tell you this is no Kithkin I've ever seen. Kithkin are meant to be like hobbits. Unless it's really short. And it's a Gurg. I don't know what the heck a Gurg is. He's got Overlord for 4, which is not a real ability, so I have no idea what the heck that is. It's got Trample, but it's a 2/2, and you've played 6. And also, whenever this creature mutates, create 2 red and green goblin warriors. I mean, at least it's not a human, which means you can actually mutate onto him. I feel like there's a lot of potential for this card, but I don't know what the hell Overlord is. Overlord makes no sense to me. Well, maybe I just don't know the ability, but I don't think it's an ability. Chromitus Citadel, this is going to be a 1 out of 5. It's just way too strange. It looks a bit like Thanos' face as well. There's just all sorts of wrong stuff going on here. Yeah, strange. So I'm always on the lookout for more Twitter accounts or places I can just get to look at custom cards. So tell me below if you know any good sources for custom cards made by AI. And there's one here called MTG Hivemind, which I think is quite funny. There's a few on here which I've found quite amusing. Let's have a look at some of these and then let's see what we think. This is Kifend, which is 5 red and green for an instant, and it gives you Trample until end of turn. Or actually, does it give itself Trample until end of turn? I'm not really sure, but Kifend, 7 mana instant. I think this is a bit too slow for my liking, and I'm really not sure what it gives Trample to exactly. If it gives it to all your creatures, then maybe this could be a legit win con, but 7 mana, 1 out of 5. Maybe 0 out of 5, in fact. Okay, we've got Impenkari Upo. It's an instant. Target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Yeah. I mean, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It targets the power and toughness. And that's about it. So this is definitely 0 stars out of 5, sadly. Doesn't really do anything. And the last one for today, Zativity. 1 blue and double red for a sorcery. Let's have a look. Counter each land you control with a -1/-1 counter on it. For each card exiled this way, you may cast an instant or sorcery from your hand without paying its mana cost. So there's a lot to take in here. I don't know if it wants you to count each land or counter each land, but I don't know what countering a land would actually do because it doesn't use the stack. And also it's a sorcery. Let's just assume it's count each land you control with a -1 counter on it, which is probably not going to be too many. And for each card exiled this way, but nothing's exiled if they're on the battlefield. So that's useless, and you may cast instant sorcery from your hand without paying its mana cost. Well, that'll be nothing then. This card is utterly useless, but it's pretty funny in just the phrasing, and it's called Zativity, which is weird. Yeah, this one definitely gets 0 stars out of 5. Cool. So if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like and a sub. And yeah, as I said before, try and find me somewhere where I can review loads of these weird AI cards, because it's quite fun, and people seem to like it. And yeah, where did you laugh, if at all? Tell me that as well. Until next time, see ya.
Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.